next Saturday is our fifth annual Walk a Mile in My Shoes. This event is held during the annual Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week, which is across the entire country to advocate for hunger and homelessness. And so we meet at the Memorial Stone, which is behind the LSS building that is on 6th Street, right by the river. And we have a nice time where we come together and we read the names of the homeless and the homeless advocates and workers that have passed away in the last year. And then we begin our walk from there to the St. Francis House, which is actually a mile. And then we are carrying a backpack of 15 pounds of items that are on our needs list. And it can be everything from personal hygiene to cleaning items to socks, hats, mittens, you name it. Because those are all items that the homeless in our community need. And then after that event, of course, we have Giving Tuesday, which is coming up on November 30th. That's the big day. And at the St. Francis House, not only are we, of course, hoping that people give to support the St. Francis House, then we turn around and take the things that we got from those backpacks and then we deliver them to the various entities in our community. So if there's children's backpacks, we'll bring them to the schools that are by us, the Terry Redland, Laura B., some of those schools, Hawthorne, Horace Mann, and then we share all the other items that are inside, because this is not the event on Saturday is not just for the St. Francis House, it is to advocate for the homeless. So we want to make sure that people are getting backpacks or they're getting warm clothing. Another big pitch I'll just put in is right now we are doing Keep Keloland Warm. In the past, they've had big gatherings where they give out the coats, but because of the pandemic, last year and this year we are having the coats donated to us, and then we work with about 19 agencies that reach out to us that needs coats, and so then we fill those orders for those agencies, and then they come and pick them up. And then when we have extras, like we just had a bunch of coats, so then we just delivered kids' coats to Terry Redland and Horace Mann, and so that they had coats they could give to the kids, because many of those kids, they're the lower economical schools, and so a lot of those kids struggle with having those things. And then of course, just going off what Rick said, we have our holiday giving that we do, and we always make sure not only do our guests have gifts, but a number one big thing that we have done is relating to children's and domestic violence. The holidays is a really, for most people, they see it as a joyful time, but it also can be a very difficult time with families, and that's when you see a lot of domestic issues happening. And so one of the things that we do is that we have angel trees that we work with so that our guests can have gifts for their children, so that they can get those gifts to the children, because the custodial parent may, if they come empty-handed, then sometimes that's when the feuding starts, that I'm taking care of these children and you're not helping. And so some of the times we have to think outside the box to try and be proactive instead of reactive. And so those are some of the things that we are doing. And of course, food is always a big thing. We make 3 meals a day, and in our new building we have 135 beds. So that's a lot of people that we are feeding. And protein, we all saw the news. The prices of protein is going up, and but we always want to make sure that we are feeding our guests well. And so that's why we partner with Feeding South Dakota, and we're able to get food with them. And so I think that I guess my big message is it's not just for St. Francis House. Really, if you give to any of the agencies, we are all kind of working together, because it all benefits. And I tag off of you, Rick, with the staffing. It is hard to make those wages then when you're comparing to the fast food places that are paying so much more, and then you're trying to manage benefits and offer good benefits to our employees when their really hearts are there to serve, and it's tough. But I truly know that we all do our best not to duplicate services. And I'll share a quick story. I had a newer employee come to me and say, "Why don't we do CD counseling here at St. Francis House?" And I said, because we have so many agencies in our community that already do that, and the pie is only so big. And if we jump into that, great, we'll get a piece of the pie, but everybody else gets a smaller portion. And so there's no need to jump in for pie when we can partner and make those referrals to those agencies and work closer together. So instead of us trying to always compete for the same dollars, we have to look at some diversity and doing things differently.
The one thing that I really like there, you guys are all connected somehow, some way.
Yes.
And you guys work together as a team.
Right.
And I appreciate that from being an outsider and looking in, because it takes an army to provide, to assist and help out all these people, the families, the children, so on and so forth. And one thing that I also like though too was like the angel tree. We have at A&B Business, we've been doing that for a few years and everything, and it's just seeing the reactions of people is it just warms your heart more than anything on once they get an item, you know.
You know, and it's an amazing thing with the angel trees. You know, it's not just the gifts, because I have mothers in our family units that are more excited to get the biggest jug of laundry soap because
Yeah.
food stamps doesn't cover that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they have to pay for that 100%, or they get diapers and wipes for their children because, you know, if they have to purchase them, that it costs more money. And so having those cleaning supplies that are donated to us, then we're able to help those families so they can keep their apartments. Even if they leave the St. Francis house, we'll give them a care package, the way to go, just like when you're setting up a home. If you think about going out and buying all the cleaning supplies, and oh my gosh, we all know what it's like to find toilet paper now. But, you know, it's those type of things that a lot of listeners may not understand, that food stamps don't cover personal sanitary items. They don't cover diapers. They don't cover cleaning supplies, laundry soap. It is mainly just your food items. And so you still need to make sure that your clothes are clean when you need to send your kids to school or you have to go to work.
Would it be safe to say too that at the St. Francis house you guys would be looking for volunteers to serve meals?
Yes. Yep.
Things of that nature.
We always love our volunteers. I think it's pretty special. We're one of the few places that allows young children to come in and volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the best, when you see the kids that are coming out and they're serving the adults. It breaks the stigma for our guests to know that children are not afraid of them because they're, quote, homeless. And on the other side, it teaches our young children that this is someone's brother, mother, sister, uncle, cousin. I even had a teacher that was working for me part-time, and one of her elementary kids came to stay at the St. Francis house, and talk about that whole process of, you know, for both him and her, it was a pretty special time, you know, for William to know that his teacher was there and she didn't judge him for the actions that he did to how he came upon us, but how we were able to help him move forward. So
That's a nice story that you shared there.